Welcome to Southeast Asia English Business Program Fortune Express. I'm Visna, your host for today's program. Fortune Express start launching a special series of reports on new financial power, and today we will broadcast the third episode on the topic of banking industry in Cambodia. We have an exclusive interview with Dr. Channy, President and Group Managing Director of Acleda Bank PLC. As stated by the National Bank of Cambodia, by the end of 2017, the number of banks and microfinances has increased dramatically. There are 39 commercial banks, 15 specialized banks, 69 microfinance institutions, and other microfinance deposit-taking institutions. Among the commercial banks, Acleda Bank is the top bank in Cambodia, with lots of clients and employees. By the end of June 2019, Acleda has 12,000 employees and provide more than 500 ATM across the countries. Acleda is the local company started out in 1993 and reached out its branch to Asian countries. In addition, Acleda remained itself as one of the top banks despite the fact that many competitors in terms of interest rates and quality. What is the history of this prominent Acleda bank? Why is it so successful in becoming the leading bank in Cambodia? What are the competitive advantages of Acleda? In order to keep updated, is Acleda ready to compete with new banks entering the Cambodian market? And what market strategies are carried out by Acleda Bank?
So thank you. So thank you for your interest to know about myself, about Acleda Bank. No? So for Cambodian, they call Acleda. For foreigner, they like shortcut, so they call Acleda Bank, no? And register at the Ministry of Commerce as well as the National Bank of Cambodia. So my name is Channy. I'm the group manager of Acleda Bank. I also myself is one of the founder of Acleda Bank. Acleda Bank established in 1993 for small and micro enterprise development, and the full name actually at that time named as Association of Cambodian Local Economic Development Agency. You know, you can look into the name of Acleda Bank then, Economic Development Agency. You know why we name it? Because our role at the time, because we work with small and medium enterprise, help them to start and to expand their business. So we name Association of Cambodian Local Economic Development Agency because we believe that for entrepreneur of small business, medium enterprise, you know, because when they start the business or they expand the business, so they provide job. It's like more income for themselves, yeah, and also for the worker who work in the small and medium enterprise, and this is can define as like economic development, and why we use the name Association of Cambodian Local Economic Development Agency, and in short we call Acleda. So 1993 NGO for small and micro enterprise development, and then in 2000 it obtained license as a specialized bank named as Acleda Bank Ltd, Co-Ltd at that time. But 3 years later, Acleda obtained license as a full-fledged commercial bank, so that we can provide all financial services more than the traditional bank, because we not just provide like a loan to small to medium, but also to low segment of the community also.
As you mentioned, Acleda, the first is like NGO and microfinance. How can you transform it to like the leading in Cambodia, leading bank in Cambodia?
You see, we always listen to our customer, listen to the stakeholder, and also which is both the customer of micro, of small and medium enterprise, and also listen to the local authority who support us at the local level, at the central level, because they advise that if work only as an NGO, because NGO it means for not for profit, no? Yes. But Acleda in 1998, Acleda became a break even at that time. And then we look into the law in Cambodia at that time, because profitable organization we should transform, no, to the private owned company, so that we can mobilize more fund to fund our growth. so that we can provide more financial product and services. Because as an NGO in 1993 and through 1998, we can only provide loan, no, to micro, to small and to medium enterprise, but we cannot mobilize saving from the public. So this is one of the major reasons why we, after we became break-even in 1998, we look into the law, we look into the need from the market, and then we think that we must at all times comply with the law of the Kingdom of Cambodia and register with the Ministry of Commerce, apply for license from the National Bank of Cambodia, and then we provide more financial product, not just loan, but saving, transfer, you know, and other payment services as stated in our license. Because license as a commercial bank or as a bank, we can provide loan, we can provide saving and payment services. Yes. Those are defined as the traditional like a banking operation, no, under the banking law. What the difference compared to the other bank, Acleda do does more than the other bank do, because the other bank only do open access for like a commercial loan to larger or corporation, no? But Acleda target all segments, which is include micro, small, medium, and corporate. No?
According to the National Bank of Cambodia, Acleda still is the largest and also with amount of the client, also like the brand. So would you mind to tell us about how many staff now and about the revenues?
As at the end of June this year, June 2019, we have 12,000 employees. In fact, Acleda Bank became the largest bank, the top bank in Cambodia since 2010. And remain as the top bank until today. We have 262 branch and offices in Cambodia, and we became the regional bank because we have two subsidiaries, one in Laos and the other one in Myanmar. No? We are the largest bank. In terms, if you look into the report produced by the bank supervision of the National Bank of Cambodia, Acleda Bank have 49.5% in terms of number of account, yes, deposit, account, saving and deposit, compared to the whole bank industry, so 49.55%. And in terms of number of active borrower, customer is around 49%. No? So almost 50%. No? Because there are many commercial banks, special bank, and licensed microfinance institutions. But compared to banks, commercial bank and special bank, Acleda Bank account for almost 50-50 in terms of customer. In terms of market share of volume, or in terms of US dollar, yes, for loan is around 17% and deposit around 16%. Yeah, so we are the largest bank. Yes. And in terms of loan asset quality, remain the top. And then we have the largest ATM machine, ATM network, over 500 ATM machine across the country. Yeah.
Acleda is the first Cambodian local brand, but can reach out to the like Myanmar and Laos, as you mentioned in a moment. Mm-hmm. So why you reach out to this country?
You see, in our strategy, when we expand to other country in the region, we look into the economic condition of that country. So Myanmar and Laos is similar to Cambodia. At that time, 2008, we expand to Laos. Okay. 2013, we expand to Myanmar. The economy of those countries is similar in terms of business sector, no? In terms of the income level of those countries, and also the need of those countries. So that's why we select two countries in addition to Cambodia. You know, originally we look ASEAN and the country along Mekong, but because of the infrastructure of bank and financial services change, we adopt the digital one. So we might not need to expand to all 10 ASEAN members. Only 3 countries, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and then use digital infrastructure so that we can reach our customer of those 10 ASEAN countries. Yeah.
Welcome back. The total population of Cambodia was estimated at 16 million people according to the population census in 2017. Why more and more foreign investors are coming to invest in banking sectors in Cambodia? How does National Bank of Cambodia treat those local and foreign banks?
You know why a small country like Cambodia, 16 million population, and why so many interested investors, no? Especially in banking sector, look into our Cambodia investment law, encourage all investor, no? Like, and then they treat the investor equally. It doesn't matter if it's local or foreign, no? Like a local bank and foreign bank plus foreigner they can own. If they want to own the company 100%, they can own. No requirement for joint venture except if they want to own land, they cannot own.
Yes,
Yeah. But if they like to own the company, they can own 100%. So this is the good thing about Cambodia investment law. Secondly, because US dollar is a low circulation in Cambodia, so they don't need to worry about foreign exchange loss, foreign exchange, because they can use the US dollars also. And then tax, in terms of tax, our tax is so encouraged, attract more, because it's simple, yeah, tax payment in terms of profit tax. Capital repatriation, if you make a profit, you want to repatriate those capital back home, you don't need to worry, no, because there is no restriction. So this is the good thing about Cambodia investment law. And then back to the competition, there are over 40 banks, commercial banks, special bank in Cambodia. A lot of competition in Cambodia. But like I said, the vision and the mission of the bank, like Acleda Bank, can make Acleda Bank remain the top in the market, even there are many competitors in terms of pricing, in terms of service quality, but Acleda Bank always focus on service quality, you know, because the banks, financial institution can provide loan with lower interest rate, you know, can provide financial services with low fee, but the quality of services is key.
As stated in the report of the National Bank of Cambodia in 2018, Cambodia deposit customer in banks and microfinance institutions exceed 6 million, an increase of 13% compared to 2017. In addition, the number of debtors has also increased to 2.85 million, an increase of 3% compared to 2017. With the constant development of the banking industry in Cambodia, there are around 2,000 branches of banks and microfinance institutions throughout Cambodia. As for the ATM and automatic deposit machine, it has dramatically increased around 1,800 units nationwide. So what's going on with the banking industry in Cambodia right now?
Bank is like a backbone. It's the backbone of the economy, you know, because we provide financial services to the entrepreneur of small, micro, small and medium enterprise. Because when they can start or can expand their business, like a job creation, income generation, and then they pay tax. Yes, they pay tax. So it's like a benefit to the whole stakeholder, to the entrepreneur themselves, to those who will work for the enterprise, and also benefit to the country, because can help solve the solution of unemployment, and also help increase the income level of the people. No? So you see a small enterprise defined as the engine for growth of each country. The more specific country have more small enterprise, it means that they can contribute, no, to the employment, to the income, yeah, and they have job, and then they contribute back to the country because they pay tax. So the more each country have a small enterprise, it will help solve a lot of issue, no? You know, compared to you talk about 20 years ago, right? 2 decades ago, the bank industry in Cambodia is very strong. They are united under one association with the clear guidance from our regulator, which is the National Bank of Cambodia. Very strong in such a way. 20 years ago, some bank only like operate in selected provinces and town, but now they are everywhere. And 20 years ago, they only have some physical branch and offices, not all, not cover the whole country. They almost have no ATM machine. Yeah, I can say no ATM machine. They don't have. They have some point of sale.
Yes.
Yeah. But now they have complete set of of infrastructure. Firstly, it's branch and offices cover the whole country, and then they have electronic infrastructure, ATM machine, point of sale, internet bank. Again, it's operating, yeah, everywhere in the country. And thirdly, more bank and financial institutions start to have digital infrastructure, fintech product. So they are very strong, which we never have such a strong, complete set of infrastructure in the past. Once again, thanks to the government and the regulator because they guide. Yes, they encourage us to grow, but at the same time, they help us to manage our growth, yeah, by risk mitigation through the regulation, no? So that we are at all time follow the guidance, regulatory guidance of the National Bank of Cambodia. And the challenge, like I said, because technology is the challenge, no? It means that you see, it's like a smartphone update to the next version every 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so likewise, technology for bank, which is include the mobile application. Also, that's why I said we cannot say our app is the latest one because it keep developing, it keep improving. Yeah. So I call it the challenge, and then it make us put more investment on that. And because many banks, more and more banks start to focus on digital. So our challenge is to maintain our like experienced staff in IT related, no? In IT. So this is the challenge.
Yeah.
And you know, we cannot stop at this level because firstly, yes, to service the population of 16 million people, and we look into in terms of connection. I mean, all bank and financial institution in the domestic market, and thirdly, we need to also engage with the bank and financial institution in ASEAN, no? So that because you might seen that recently the National Bank of Cambodia have launched their Bakong, you know, Bakong is with the aim to for bank and financial institution to expand their coverage. A low customer of certain bank can engage with the other bank financial institution customer. The idea when this is work okay, and then they can connect at the regional level. I mean ASEAN and also global level. Yeah.
So how about the Union Pay, MasterCard, Visa card development in Cambodia? What do you think about this? And do you think it still benefit to the foreign investor or also tourism?
Yeah, both. I think yeah, to the business person, to the tourists, locally and internationally, and at their own choice. No, they can choose which card is more convenient to them. So they will choose, and not just convenient, secure, and benefit. No? Some card do give benefit to the consumer, so they can make their own decision.
Cambodia is planning to transform itself into digital economy by 2023. So how about the digital banking system transformation in Cambodia? How about Acleda? Will it be transforming itself as digital bank in Cambodia? What are the fintech products and services launched by Acleda?
Look into the country at the country level. No? So the economic plan of the government. The government have a concrete plan, no? Like to move forward for they call digital economy. From the public sector side, they don't just start now. I think they start a few years already. Look into the GDT, no? The tax. We pay tax. No? Like you can use the bank or use digital, and they can moving from physical payment at the tax, collect by the tax, but then use the bank, no? Yes. Use the financial institution, and look into the bank that part of the tax mobilization. Those banks equipped with digital infrastructure, especially Acleda Bank. No? So we have digital mean to support the tax payment. So can the country achieve that? Yes, of course, because when they said like 2023 to reach that, but they don't just start this year. I think they start a few years already. As for Acleda Bank, we start since 2010, and then now we have one infrastructure, because I mentioned about three kinds of infrastructure. Physical branch and offices. So that is the traditional infrastructure. You can see any bank have a branch and offices, and then electronic infrastructure, which is ATM machine, point of sale, internet. Many banks have that infrastructure, but digital one, a few banks have, but some licensed microfinance institution, some PSI, like a payment service institution, they have fintech product, they have digital. To move to 100% digital, it takes time. But is it possible? Yes, it is. It's possible. I cannot say impossible to move to digital completely, but because of the customer in our country, I can see that they still need to talk to our staff, so they can choose to come to the branch and offices. But digital is one of the three infrastructure as I mentioned.
Honestly, on behalf of Cambodian and a fan of Acleda also, I'm used like Acleda Tonjet also. It's very easy and convenient for me. And do you think that this mobile app is the last version, or do you think that can compete with other bank in Cambodia?
I use the term that Acleda Bank like to listen to the customer. When we develop our Unity Tonjet, it starts from Acleda Unity. At that time, that was in 2010. But our product development team designed that product 2 years before 2010. It took us 2 years. And then we launched in 2010. But we never stopped, because on the digital one, on the mobile phone, we continue to develop it, so that we can always at all time have the latest technology to help and to serve our customer. So our product design, we call tailor-made. It's like when you make clothes. If you can go to the market and you can buy clothes, and then just to fit you. So Acleda Unity Tonjet is local, designed by Acleda engineer team, IT team, because IT engineering group designed that. By listen to the customer, by looking into the development in globally, and then incorporate it to our product. So Acleda Unity Tonjet is the latest one, but it never stops. When we talk about technology, it's continue to develop, because we have a research and development team, so that we at all time have latest technology to serve our value customer.
As you mentioned, Cambodia is a potential for bank industry in Cambodia, and some investors said with the open financial and preferential trade policy, Cambodia have potential to become the financial center of Asian country. So what do you think, and can you comment on this? Cambodia can be the financial center of Asian.
You see, when we look into the map of ASEAN, a map of ASEAN, you can see Cambodia is in position in the center, border with Thailand, and then with Vietnam, and those are the connection within ASEAN, and also to China, and also to the country in the region, and also globally. In terms of this, I'm talking about trade, trade. But because the bank support that import export, like trade, and can we become the financial hub of ASEAN? Because financial hub of ASEAN so far, Singapore played this role actively. On the traditional part. But because during the digital age, fintech age, I like you to look back into when we talk about telephone line, fixed line, mature country, like let's talk about Thailand. Thailand, they have fixed line before, and then Singapore, Malaysia. But then the mobile phone come into the market, and Cambodia enjoy the most because we have the latest technology. So Cambodia is the country whereby because we have 16 million population, but number of mobile phone is more than the number of the population.
Yes, sure.
And then this is the advantage of moving into the telephone age later, but access to the latest technology. Can Cambodia become the financial hub? No, I don't think, because look into the traditional way, it takes time to develop that. But in terms of digital, I think we can. Yeah, we can in terms of digital financial infrastructure, which be able to serve the region. No? It depends on how we define hub for the for the corporate market or for the retail market, consumer market, consumer or the retail market. No? So I see we can achieve the retail one faster because of the latest technology, because of the number of consumer have smartphone, have mobile phone. So it makes us convenient to fulfill to achieve the role as the retail hub. No? You know, the next we always talk about our digital strategy. You know, so this our the strategy make us successful. Not just now. I mean the past, the current position of ourselves, and also in the future. So digital is remain our long-term strategy so that we can reach all customer. I use the term all customer because in terms of reach everywhere of the country, yes, we can we achieve already, but all customer, it means that I don't think 16 million will use the bank, because some very old, some very young, some just born. No? So the number of at legitimate age, legal age to 18? Because I think 18 they can vote already, right? Yes, sure. And then even they are below 18, but they can sign with their parents, no? Their parents, 16 to 18. We like to reach all those. No? I mean, those below the legal age, I mean legitimacy for election. No? Yes. And then if they are too old, they have their children or they have their brother, sister to help them. So we want to reach them all. No? So this is our aim, to reach them all. So we always conduct our research and development to our technology so that it most convenient. No? Now we talk about, because mobile application still require password. No? Password, and that is very difficult for people when they are old. No? And also difficult for those customers who have but they are limited knowledge, in terms of understand reading, writing. So next, this is why we fingerprint, face recognition, no? So that when we have this introduced, and then we can say that we can serve all of them who need our financial services. So our strategy, 5 year, 10 year, surround this development. So we develop until our customer feel convenient. So we use eye contact, we use face recognition, we use fingerprint, and we use all means that the customer feel that this is the most convenient and most secure for them. So that is our development now, and development the next 5 years and the next 10 years toward that.
Yes, thank you, Dr. and Channy, for being part of our program Fortune Express. So thank you. Thank you also.
Thanks for staying with us. Please stay tuned for the next episode. If you have any comments or idea, please direct us via our Facebook page, Fortune Express, and WeChat. See you.